Shabbat Shalom, family. Good to see you all here. Hope you're doing well. Well, there's been quite a few developments in the Nolan Wells story, and Officer Tatum interviewed four of these white teens that were on the boat. And, I can't say that I believe he's helping them because I really don't think he is. And the one he interviewed first, Warren Hudson, a lot of people are noticing a change in his appearance, like he's slimming down. Is it weight loss because you're stressed out over what happened and possibly your involvement? Or, dude, maybe he can't eat now. It looks like the demons are on that ass, that's for sure. But we shall see. Let me go ahead and share my screen. Make sure I turn the volume up. All right. Please give me a one if you can see my screen. Thank you.
Secret Service Sam here with a Nolan Xavier Wells update. And something a lot of people are pointing out is Warren and how much his face has changed since just the first interview a few weeks ago to right now. And it begs the question, like, he looks like he has Ozempic face, in my opinion, but is something eating away at him? Now, obviously, this has to be very stressful, all of a sudden becoming this unwanted celebrity. He talks about where he went into a restaurant and was threatened and whatnot, but this doesn't look like weight loss by a man who lost his best friend and he just hasn't slept or hasn't eaten and is just doing everything he can to figure out what happened to his friend. It looks like something is literally eating away at his soul. That's all I'm saying. It's just my opinion. What do you guys think about it? Let me know in the comments. Secret Service Sam out Samson for president of the world.
So did y'all see where Warren Hudson, Jax, and the guy on the end, he looked older than them. He looked old, and I was like, "What the hell is that?" So that was one of the lawyers, and I think he was trying to disguise himself so that we can think that he was one of them, right? But anyway, they did a second interview with Brandon Tatum. I'm not going to address him as an officer because he's an ex-officer and he was only an officer for 6 years. So I'm not going to address him as an officer. But anyway, they did an interview with him for the second time. They have not talked to Nolan Wells' parents, haven't tried to talk to Ben Crump or anybody like that. But y'all gonna sit down with him. For what? But I noticed that they all had this like weird body language. When the guy on the end was talking, Warren was looking at him like trying to make eye contact. But I noticed that Warren then lost a lot of weight, face skinny, neck skinny. I feel like this guilt is eating him up.
So y'all know it ain't been but a couple of weeks ago when Warren did his first interview with Officer Raccoon Tatum, and Warren had a full face. You see him right here. Warren had a little fat face. Now they done did another interview, and Warren looked like he a little fucking worn out. Like what the hell going on? Like he might be on a Zempic or that, you know, allegedly it's a lot of people out there saying that's what they do. But Warren looking a little worn out. I would too if I got to keep up with this story and I got to keep up with that story. He looking a little bad. The fuck is going on? Don't y'all see how much weight he done lost? He look like a walking stick. I mean, what you do in the dark will come to the light. Is something eating him up in the inside? do he feel like he need to go ahead and let it out? Like, what the hell is going on? He looking a little sickly, a little worn the fuck out.
Another day, another interview with the three boys who were seen in that photo on the boat to Horn Island with Nolan Wells. And not one tear was in the room during the clip that I'm about to show you. Now, you all know that I am a licensed mental health professional. And I don't even think you need those qualifications to know this, but it is absolutely not normal for nobody to show any sign of grief for the loss of someone who they say is like a brother to them. No tears, just excuses and clearing your name.
So what do you guys think about that audio?
Well, I can go ahead and say that as you posted that clip of all of us on the boat, you know, as it's rolling, not rolling, but right there sitting in the water, Wyatt's on the phone with Cito.
And this is the photo of the clip, by the way. The same clip that we still haven't seen any metadata to prove that that phone call was happening at the same time that they were apparently already being towed by Bart. Because according to Bart and his lawyer, he was already towing them. But we hear Bart's name in the phone call. So was he in another boat towing them, or was he on a boat with y'all? And where's the data to show us the timestamps? Because all we see is somebody on the phone, and that's not to mention that all of the trunks in this original picture don't match all the trunks in the clip that was posted.
In that clip, I mean, he's on the phone. Wouldn't you think that you would have seen no one on the bottom of on the floor or something, or scrambling around, or everybody in a pot, like in a small space on the boat looking at him or something? I mean, it's just so crazy to think that. Why would we call Cito if we have a dead body on the boat? I mean, why would we call the Coast Guard? You know, why would we do the things we did if we know we killed somebody?
I mean, the simple answer to that question is because that's what people do when they're trying to cover something up. I mean, duh. And y'all still haven't answered the question. What do y'all think about the cleaned up audio?
But we fixed the boat and we ran into Fort Bayou, and that's it. The Cito call was completely enhanced, and these people just want to believe what they want to hear.
The Cito call was completely enhanced. Wouldn't that be a good thing? Now, I'm going to assume that that's not what you meant to say, and that's why y'all need to stop doing interviews with Officer BBB and go do interviews with someone like Ben Crump, who's the family's attorney. And we still waiting for answers about why y'all went to Fort Bayou instead of going back to the dock that you needed to go back to go home.
First of all, with respect to Warren, if you just murdered your best friend on an island, the dumbest thing you could do would be to call the Coast Guard, to call a federal law enforcement agency and tell them, hey, can you guys go out and check out this island and look for Nolan Wells? Well, that's exactly what Warren did. Warren called the Coast Guard.
They called the Coast Guard to come up with an alibi. That gives them an alibi. That's all that was about. And if you remember, when he was on the call, what was that woman's name? Vicky or something? Well, anyway, when she called the Coast Guard, they said, oh, his grandfather already called. That's where that alibi came from. It came from the grandfather.
And that is one of many very compelling facts. He got back and he called the Coast Guard. Does that sound like a guilty man to you?
Wouldn't you think that you would have seen no one on the bottom of on the floor or something, or scrambling around, or everybody in a pot, like in a small space on the boat looking at him or something? I mean, it's just so crazy to think that. Why would we call Cito if we have a dead body on the boat? I mean, why would we call the Coast Guard? You know, why would we do the things we did if we know we killed somebody? And then another following up on that is, why aren't we in jail yet? I mean, we're not geniuses. There's no way we could have done a murder. I mean, there's no way we could have covered it up, especially out there with that many people. Go ahead.
Nothing they're saying is really taking the guilt off of them. And I think they feel that it is. It is taking the guilt off. It really isn't. It leaves me with more questions. Okay. You made the call to me as a diversion. So, between all that time, where was Nolan? Because when you listen to that other audio when he's on the phone, you can clearly see they were talking back and forth to each other and they were yelling out Nolan's name. You could hear all of that in the audio. Do you know the woman that did the enhancement on that call? Do you know they have been threatening her? So if these guys are so innocent, why all the threats? She's been threatened. And she also gave the audio, that audio that Nancy Grace plays on her show, that came from the same black woman. And they have been threatening to get Nancy Grace taken off the air. So I mean, if you didn't do nothing wrong, what's up with all the threats? Why are y'all threatening people? So yeah, this don't make you look good, that's for sure. It don't make you look good. Nolan, unfortunately, should have learned this lesson while he was living. Apparently, he didn't learn at all to stay away from these folks and not go somewhere and be the only melanated person. That was a lesson unlearned by him in life. Okay. Lisa Gibson, thank you so much for the 10 jewels gold coin. Thank you so much for your support. Yeah, Carmelo should actually be going to court this week, y'all. He's trying to get a new trial, and I think that is coming up like the 18th. But it's definitely this week that it's coming up. I hope he gets another trial because that first trial was a joke. They definitely set him up. There's no doubt about it. So, if I get more details on it, I'll definitely do another live on it. But he deserves a new trial. They really tried to railroad him, and they did. They gave him 35 years in first-degree murder. Like everything that happened that day, he planned it all out in advance, and he didn't do that. So they want that judge to recuse himself. Now, I'm not sure whether he has done it or not, but they can take it to another judge, and another judge can decide whether he should be recused. He should, because he took part in setting up Carmelo Anthony. That's why he's retiring now. So, y'all, we'll see what happens. This crap is supposed to go to the grand jury. And I have a feeling this is Mississippi we're talking about. They're going to try to shut down this Nolan Wells unaliving. I'll just say unaliving to get these boys off. Ocean Springs sound very clannish to me. It does. And if they're picking their jewelry pool from there, I would not doubt they're using the grand jury to get these guys off. So y'all have a wonderful, wonderful Shabbat, and be on the lookout for my next live. Shalom, family.